Good morning. We got the chill vibes going on in here. Welcome, welcome. If you're here with me, give me a shout out. Happy Thursday. Good morning. Good morning. It is day 4 of our crowdfunding 5K in 30-day series. And we are having the nuggets today because we are going to be talking about launching your campaign. What do you do during the campaign to have a successful campaign? So today's going to be exciting. If you missed the recent replays of the series, you can go back all the way to Friday, and you can look at each day our replays. You can go back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that will actually have the series all put in one place. So definitely let me know if you've been joining live. If you have been here, give me a shout out. Say, hey, I've been here. I'm down for it. And I just want to welcome you for today, day 4. Now, we are not going live tomorrow because tomorrow we have the workshop. We're actually going to be workshopping these topics that I've been teaching together. So we'll be workshopping our signature story. We'll be putting together a plan for systems that we can put in place. And we'll be putting together a calendar for launching your campaign. So if that's something that you are wanting to do after watching this series, this is the last day, definitely put workshop in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to get started today. We're going to be on for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll be off. Got more artists to talk to and lots of crazy, amazing things happening. So if you don't know me already, my name is Jess Eva Allen. I am a singer-songwriter as well as a crowdfunding artist coach. And I'm really passionate about getting artists funded. Specifically what I did is I created 5K in 30 days with my own crowdfund. And since then, I have been obsessed with passing on the information, even helping artists create bigger numbers than that. So it's really 5K plus. You can do whatever you want with this information. But today we are going to be talking about launching your campaign. So if you're with me, give me a shout out. Give me a hello. Okay, we got JD. We got Lillian. Hey, Lillian. Good to see you. So we're going to be jumping into it, launching your campaign. So let's show the slides here. All right. Awesome. So we're going to be launching your campaign. All right. Someone on Facebook. Hey, been here, down with it. All right. Awesome. I can't see your name, but let me check on Facebook. Let me see if it popped up for me. Who's there? Hey, Lorna. Hi, Lorna. Good to see you. Awesome. Lorna's in my slideshow from day 1. So if you want to see Lorna, her picture, she's looking good. Okay, awesome. So launching your campaign. So when you are launching your campaign, you want to have a strategy before you go into the campaign. You don't want to be running around with your head cut off like I did. And you want to have some type of structure for your daily to-do list. So we're going to be talking about what do you want to do every day of the campaign so that your campaign is a success. If you want to talk about the preparation for the campaign, definitely watch yesterday's live. But today is all about what do you do during the campaign. So number 1, you want to have a plan for your social media posts. Shout out to Clara. She helped me when Phoenix Band did their crowdfund back in October. Sometimes you want to bring on team members so that they can support you in this. So you want to be posting every day, especially if you are having a goal for growing your social media presence. I personally did a lot of networking. I did not focus on social media as much. However, in our current nowadays, a lot of people want to grow their social media. So it just depends on your goals. But having at least a social media schedule, if not daily posts, is going to be something you want to do. Because I'll tell you, you'll reach out to people and one-on-one, right, for a phone call or whatever it is, and they forget. They just forget. They're like, huh, what? And then you talk to them and they're like, okay, I'll let you know what I can do. And then they keep seeing your posts. The posts are not meant to necessarily bring in investments or anything like that. The posts are there to remind people after you've talked to them. So that's really what the idea of the posts are. Don't rely on the posts. If you want to run an ad campaign during this time, you can, or beforehand. We can talk about that a little bit more in depth. But again, the goal of the social media post is to remind people what you're doing, what you're up to, and then it keeps inspiring people every day of the campaign. So I think the sales statistics now, it used to be 7, but people need, I think it's 12 reminders now. They need to be exposed to you 12 times because we're in such a information overload culture that people need reminders of why they like you. At least when it comes to marketing in general. Hopefully your friends don't need that, but even if we bring it into relationships here, the statistic about you need more positive investments in a relationship than you have negative, right? So, in some ways, marketing is just a relationship. It's just a relationship of trust that you're building with people, and it's up to you to have the integrity and the character to hold that relationship. But at the end of the day, these are what these posts are for: is to remind people that they're in relationship with you. All right. And again, shout out to Clara. She helped Phoenix Band do this so they could post every day without having to post every day. So you want some support, definitely reach out to Clara. You want to have email updates. So on statistically, email converts 25% more than social media. So that's why I say don't rely on social media, because it doesn't convert to the actual investments or donors, but emails do. And so you want to be gathering emails beforehand. We talked about that yesterday, but you also want to be updating people regularly on email as well. When people invest in the crowdfund, they will put their email in, and you'll have a platform to email them on. Whether you use Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Rocket Fuel, you'll have ability to do that. So you want to have email updates prepped and ready beforehand and sent out. I suggest around 3 times a week during the campaign, if not every day. So then you've got your countdown photos. Again, so funny. People have no idea what you're doing unless you give them a countdown and a deadline because we're all forgetful, right? So countdown photos really encourage people to remember, oh yeah, there's a deadline. Oh yeah, what are you doing? And so many people, even if we posted every day on social media during Phoenix Band, they were like, what are you doing again? They literally just don't remember. So the countdown photos are very, very helpful so that they know that there's something coming to like an end. So that's what those are for. And then you've got your 10 to 30 reach outs a day is what I suggest. These are any kinds of reach outs on Facebook, on text message. You can say, hey, so-and-so, working on a project. Thought of you. Would you be down for a quick phone call or to chat sometime, in the next week or so? And that's what you'll want to be doing throughout this process. Now, we'll talk about kind of angels and investors, and there's a whole aspect of this. And I was talking to an artist yesterday about this. If you have investors that want to do an equity investment into the crowdfund, that's a whole other thing. We're talking about 10 to 30 reach outs a day of people who are in your life already and in your circles. And if you want to do more an investment pitch, definitely DM me workshop, because we'll be going over that tomorrow in the workshop at 10 or at 9 a.m. PST. So if that's something that you're interested in, more like angel investors, definitely put workshop in the chat. But either way, you want to have 10 to 30 reach outs a day. Even the scary people, even the people who might give you 10K for your crowdfund, you definitely want to reach out to them. Even if you don't, if you're not sure that they would do anything, doesn't matter, go for it. Let's talk about phone calls, guys, because this is the part that a lot of artists get really intimidated by. And hello, everyone on Facebook. I see some new people coming. Leisha and Crossbeats and Silver Fox. Walter, welcome, welcome. So phone calls are something that a lot of people get intimidated by. And, us as artists, we're like, I'll play music all day, but don't make me talk to people. Sometimes we're like that. Depends on personalities. Everyone's different. But in general, that's what I find with artists. And what I'll say is you don't have to be perfect at this at first. This is a learning process, just like anything. But if you practice something enough, you get good at it. Like, that's just how humans work, right? And the people who are meant to respond, respond. So I want to encourage you shift the mindset here of abundance because there's so many people who wanted to help me that I had never reached out to, and because I connected to them on a phone call, it was personal, they felt seen, and it was like, yeah, totally. Someone I hadn't seen in 10 years was like, can I, yeah, I want to invest in you, I want to give this gift to you. So that's what I'll say about phone calls. You don't have to be perfect at it at first, but I do have a script that can help you do this. So I'll give you an example right now. So I messaged my friend John. I've talked about this multiple times, but it's always John. And I said, John, hey, what part of the world are you in? Long time no see. Haven't talked to John in like years. And I said, hey, I am working on a project right now. I thought of you. Would you be open for a quick phone call? And he said, sure. So we got on the call, we caught up a little bit. I think he was in Africa or somewhere crazy, like he was traveling all over. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Hey, the reason I thought of you, and this goes back to day 2 of this series, your signature story. So if you haven't seen that, definitely watch day 2 of this or day 1, which has the overview of everything, signature story. But I'd go into my signature story and I'd say, hey, John, the reason I'm reaching out for you is because I'm working on a project right now. It is a original EP and album that I've been working on. And the reason it's so important to me is because I've been working on this album for 10 years. Really, it's been in the works. And I have been trying to self-fund it for the last 3 years. And I just keep hitting roadblocks. And a lot of the roadblocks I keep hitting are not feeling like my story counts, not feeling like I'm good enough for this, not feeling like I have to be someone else to really make this project work. And I'm really working on that, John. I'm really working on just being confident in me and who God has made me to be and who I am, what my story is already, like not being ashamed of that and being bold about that. And so I know it's out of the blue, it's totally no pressure, but I would love to know if you'd be open to supporting me in some way on this project. And then John would say, yeah, sure. Like, what can I do? And I go into 3 ways of how he can support me. Number 1, I said, okay, cool, John. Yeah, like I said, totally no pressure. But the 3 ways you can support me is 1, you can invest in the project. So I am raising funds to do it so that I can actually finish this project. And then number 2, you can join my free Facebook group. And at the time, I was auctioning off items from other businesses. So I said, you can shop for Christmas on my free Facebook group. And then the 3rd way, John, is that you can join my email list or you can come to my live event I'm having at the end of the campaign. It's going to be on this date at this time. And I'm going to be sharing my original music with you. So out of all those, options, I'd love to know what speaks to you, what works for you, and what you'd like to do. And he would say, yeah, like totally so cool what you're doing, like totally support you. And, thank you for reaching out. And they say one of 2 things. They say, yeah, I'd love to send something over. Can you give me the link to invest or donate? And then other people would say, well, I can't really donate right now. Funds are tight, but can I add some people to your Facebook group? Maybe you can auction off some items in the Facebook group with my friends. And I actually had that happen. I had someone donate $300, $400 that I did not even know. It was like a friend of a friend who wanted the auction item. Anyway, so they came in and did that. I didn't even know them. And then some people would say, yeah, I'd love to come to the event. How do I do that? And so those are the responses that I'd get. I'd say out of 100 people, I got maybe 1 weird person being like, I don't get it. But let me ask you this. If you were talking to 100 people and they got you, like they were supportive and they got you, and then 1 person didn't, I mean, is it still worth it? Yeah, I mean, it was for me. And so that's how I created the 5K in 30 days. I really literally focused on a lot of phone calls and a lot of personal connection. So that is that. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about are the live events. So the live events, online or in person, are going to be throughout the campaign. So you can choose a 30-day campaign or a 6-week campaign. But what you want to do is you want to set an event every week probably online is most likely, to where you can share what's going on with everybody. You can share your story, and the best way to do this is to go live every week. So it's like kind of like you're starting your own show, right? Kind of like back in the day when we had to wait for the TV show to come on to actually watch the show. Yeah, nobody, I would say nobody under 20 remembers that, but, or yeah, under 20. But for those of us who are over that, we remember that. And so this is what you're going to be doing throughout the campaign. You can make these events so fun. For example, you can share updates of the campaign. Hey, if we hit $1,000, we're going to throw pie in my dad's face, or whatever you want to say. We're gonna jump in really cold water. If we hit this goal, we're going to donate half of it to a charity. I mean, you can literally get so creative with this. And these events are fun. These events are so fun to do every week. Sometimes you'll just be sharing your story. Maybe the first week you just share your story. The second week you perform some songs. I know a big hit with Phoenix Band was them singing their songs live. I mean, they were killer together. They were magical when they performed, and that's really, why we're here. We want to share our music. So performing live is a great way to do it, once a week, and then have a big event toward the end where you are actually doing it. Now, did my slideshow change? Okay. I totally have not been changing my slideshow, guys. So sorry about that. Here's our event here. So you will be wanting to set dates that you can do this throughout your campaign, and a big date at the end. So I would love to know, guys, what is your takeaway? Do you see yourself crowdfunding in the next few months? Again, if you missed it, go back and watch the last replays starting on Monday. I review everything on our replay on Monday. And then we have signature story, teams and systems, and to last day, launching your campaign. So if you haven't seen the full overview, definitely watch Monday's live. So definitely would love to know in the chat, is this something that you could see yourself doing in the next few months? Type me in the chat. And I know we have a lot of people who've been tuning in live and will watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay, definitely still put me in the chat. If you're someone who is curious on how to have support around that, we do have a workshop tomorrow at 9 a.m. PST. So if you want to workshop all these ideas and hear from my partner, Andy, who is a artist manager and owns a crowdfunding platform in the UK, he's helped artists create anywhere from 5K to 100K in their crowdfunds, and is a strategist. I mean, he is a strategist. Definitely put workshop and I can get you connected with him. We are also going to be launching a challenge so that artists can do it in a big group starting in March 15th. So if that's something you're interested in participating in, definitely put Rocket in the chat and I can get you the info. You can be on the waiting list in the meantime, and we can go from there. So definitely, yes, that's rocket fuel right there. So definitely let me know what your takeaways were in the chat. I am hopping off here because I got another artist to be talking to. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Welcome. But if you can see yourself crowdfunding, definitely put me in the chat. You can put crowd. And you can also be involved in the workshop we're having tomorrow. It's not too late. We have a bunch of different artists going for Grammy nominations and going for different levels of crowdfunds. We've got 50K, we've got 5K. So definitely it's great to be involved in a community where people are going for their goals, right? And they're taking action. So if you're someone doubting yourself, like, can I even create this? Definitely get around the right people. And that's what, the strength of this community is. We don't have to do it alone. You're not alone. You don't have to do things, with no strategy. You can have a strategy, you can have community, and you can be involved in that. So thank you so much guys for joining live. Uh, DM me if you have any questions. I'll see you guys on the next live, which will probably be next week at 10:30. But in the meantime, have a great weekend. See you guys later.